Hello student, today in this video I'll continue with the chapter weathering. So in the last video I've discussed the definition of weathering. So what is weathering? The weathering is actually, or the weathering means disintegration of rocks. Or breaking down or decaying of rocks by the action natural agents. Okay, so what is weathering? The weathering is defined as the disintegration of the rock or decaying of the rocks by the agents, by the actions of the natural agents like rain, wind, etc. Okay, and next, this weathering is actually been divided into three sections. One is the mechanical weathering. Next one is the chemical weathering. And the last one is the biological weathering. These are the three different forms of the weathering. So in this video, out of these three, I'm going to start with this one, that is the mechanical weathering. So let's start with the mechanical weathering. So what is the definition, or what do we understand by this mechanical weathering? This mechanical weathering actually involves the disintegration or rocks, or the breaking down of rocks by mechanical means without changing the chemical properties of the rock. Okay, so what this mechanical weathering means? This mechanical weathering actually involves the disintegration or the breaking down or the decaying of the rocks by the mechanical means. This mechanical means is actually means the physical way, physically. Okay, so all in the process of the mechanical weathering, the breaking down of the rock or the disintegration of the rock is occurring in a physical way, and in this process there is no changing of the chemical properties are taking place. That is why we are means another name for the mechanical weathering is also physical weathering. Next is that how this physical transformation of the rocks takes place, or how the rocks get physically transformed or get physically disintegrated. The reasons for this are, this physical transformation actually takes place due to the action of the natural agents. Okay, natural agents like the temperature change, next is the wind, then number 3 is the frost, and number 4 is the rainfall. So all these three things, the temperature change, the wind, the frost and the rainfall, is actually causing the physical change in the rocks, which is ultimately leading to this physical weathering. Now let us see how this change of the temperature works and how it is actually resulting the physical weathering. How the temperature change takes place, or this temperature change works. Okay, so in the desert region there is a wide daily range of temperature, and what happens due to this? During the time of day or during the daytime, what happens? The rocks that are present gets heated up. So when the rocks get heated up, what happens due to that? It expands. Okay, but during the time of night, the temperature drops. Okay, and once the temperature drops, what happens with the drop in the temperature? The rocks also begins to contract. So this continuous expansion and contraction of the rocks actually develops a series of cracks within the rocks and joints also, which ultimately leads to the breaking down of the rocks. So there are various processes which are involved in this mechanical weathering, and those processes are: number 1, block disintegration; number 2, exfoliation; and number 3 is granular disintegration. So I'm going to discuss about all these processes in the next video. Thank you everyone.